Give it to Jennifer, she's gonna.
This is Thursday, August 10th, 2023. It is 5:08 PM. This is a regular monthly meeting of the Augsburg Bridge and Port Authority. This meeting is called to order. Mr. Lawrence, any letters and communications to the board?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we'll move to approval of board minutes. June 8th, full board meeting minutes. July 10th, full board meeting minutes. Mr. King, have you reviewed those?
Yes. Yes, but Mr. Miller did.
June 8th.
Okay, everything
I
is,
missed that meeting, but everything I reviewed, I found in order.
Yes, everything was good on
Okay.
June 8th as well.
so the finance committee meetings, July 10th, July 31st. They're in order?
Yes, everything is in order and I would move for all their approval.
Okay. Facilities committee, July 31, and personnel committee, July 31.
I have an email from Jennifer Pickman that said the minutes look excellent. No changes needed.
Okay, so all minutes presented here have all been approved by respective chairs or board secretary, is that correct?
Yes.
Is there a motion to accept?
So
Made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Those minutes are approved. Reports, committee reports, finance committee, Mr. King?
Finance committee met and went through our financial position and I guess I would just turn it over to Patty for review with the board.
Well, thank you. We'll start with the statement of financial position. As of June 30th, which is 1/4 of the way through the year, our accounts receivable regular are at 319,000. 90% of the open AR is either current or 1 to 30 days. So we are continuing to keep our receivables collection quite current. We have very few old receivable accounts. If we go down to our accounts payable regular, you'll see they are at $520,000. And if you stop and think, we have 319,000 in receivables and 520 in payables. That's not really a good proportion to have. We have one AEAS contour invoice that's being paid this week. And we have some project account payable that will be paid off this month. Are there any questions on the statement of financial position?
The EEP solar,
Yes.
what is that again?
We pay for the solar that they generate, and then that solar becomes a credit on our national grid bills. So we're paying for solar in lieu of paying for national grid.
Okay. Okay.
If we move to the budget to actual for and through June, our bridge revenue is up, which is excellent. The airport fuel sales is down because, partly because our AEAS airline did not buy fuel in the month of May. So that will continue to be with us for the rest of the year. The AEAS, we were -1 invoice when this was, when the June financials were done. The industrial park is right on target. The marine terminal is a bit above. We've received some salt already this year. We also have been able to get reimbursed for certain, like the salt crunching and the tarps that had to be replaced. And we also have the interest on the money that we're holding for the Port Dock expansion project. Our expenses are pretty much on target. There's very little that is seriously over budget. Some are probably just timing issues. So we really don't have anything except the marine terminal legal expense that is really out of whack, and that was for the ILA grievance. We had the attorneys help us with the grievance process. Any questions on the budget to actual? Yes, sir.
Are we a little bit above where we thought we would be at this time?
We're a little better than we thought we would be at the end of June, 1 quarter in. A good deal of that is for we've deferred items. And our cash flow shows the situation quite clearly for the next 6 months. As we anticipated, that it will. The only thing that has changed this cash flow from last month is that we are and have been getting salt early. So that cash just comes in now instead of later in the year.
So basically, for the next 6 months, it doesn't change, well, our anticipated amount of cash.
No.
Oh, we'll get the transformer project.
Oh, we do have possible
And
transformer money.
we'll still be having a couple more ships. That's been good. Not as large as the ones we first got, but we'll be sharing half loads, a couple more, I believe.
We can discuss that at the port report. Since I'm not quite sure of the details.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. King, on the finance committee?
The only thing I would just add is the cash flow for everybody looks really nice, at least from our perspective of keeping track of things. And it's not a rosy picture, so hopefully things will keep.
No, it's not.
We'll find something to make it better.
Patty, do you have anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you. Move on to the facilities committee report.
Yeah, Facilities Committee met, and Steve, will you go over the child care thing, or do I need to cover that, or we talked about that? Probably let you do it, it's easier.
Yeah, I don't,
We just reviewed some stuff.
yeah, we reviewed where we are in the whole process. It's basically the report that I give to the Child Care Initiative group, Sam and what? Thank you.
Oh, no.
That's that. Anyway, no, I made everybody aware of where we are with the funding, that we do have our 2.1 from Senator Gillibrand, and that we do have our ESD application in for roughly 1.9. And should we be successful on that, I think we can move forward with that. So, and with that, I did mention that we will be, it doesn't hurt us to go out and do a RFQ for an engineer on that, just to have that in place. So that's kind of where we're at. It's hopeful, but I imagine probably the third quarter of this year, we'll see, we'll get a yes or no on our grant there, but it'll be the third time we've applied. So hopefully we've improved it enough. Let's see, what else did you, an update on the port expansion?
Keep going.
On the port expansion project, I updated, we're going with a two-prong approach, two different ways of building the expansion. And one of them is a traditional sheet piling, and the other one is they call it O-piles, that are pipes that go in a circle and they're socketed into concrete. The reason for that is you might have contractors that can do one of them really well and cheaper. So the DOT has okayed us to go, and the board approved more design work in order to do that for a savings. That work is all, I believe it's almost 90% complete. It's been submitted to the DOT for their review and their comments. And then when that comes back, we're hoping to have maybe in October or November, we're hoping to go out for bid finally on that one, and then cross our fingers and see where that comes out. I did do an update also on the airport terminal project. I did have something here on that one. Let's see, yeah. So I want to update, Sam, I know this is important to you. We gradually shrunk the project really in size in order to get in within our budget. And we've been successful at bringing the cost down into basically our $21 million range. We're at roughly 27 for our wish list of everything. And materials had gone up since a year ago when we did all of this. What they've been fairly successful with that new design. We're back into budget. But what happened was the PLA was built based on a larger number. So the results would not be realistic. So we don't have that PLA for the board to approve, but we want that in place when we start phase one. We can go through with phase one, but I know how the board feels about that. I said, we will not start the first phase, which is smaller, but we won't start that until the PLA's in effect or has been approved. And that way, the first phase, what I'm told, is a little over 60 days. So even if we were to go to the next board meeting, I may ask for a quorum to approve that just separately on its own, just so we can gain some time. So when I was told it was only 60 days, if you can get some, a contract approved and to the contractor in late September, that'll give them time. It won't be consistent weather, but it'll work for what we're trying to do there. So that's hopeful. And then we're looking to bid the main project, which is 30% design complete for, I believe it's January with that. So that'll be the real thing. I've been out of the last 2 meetings and staff has done a really good job of working on the interior things. And I did get comments from the architects saying they really appreciate all the input. And I also told them that what we give them to kind of make real for us in design has been way above our expectations. And they say, they're based on their opinion and where they've all been in airports all over the world, they really feel this is unique, that instead of having it a place where you just go in and out, to incorporate, as more of a local destination, they really are excited about it too. So I think we've got some energy going there that we're pleased with.
Good.
Is that, those are the major ones.
Those are the major ones.
Oh, and then, why don't you go explain, Anthony, you want to explain that?
Yeah, so staff, and kudos to Karen for leading the initiative, developed a branding style guide to help make all our communications with the public more uniform, both in aesthetics and, timeliness of response and all those kind of different things. So that's, this is the starting point. It covers a lot of bases to get us to even a better spot in the future. So this is a living, growing document, but this is what we have for now. And it's a big step forward for the way we think about the authority. So.
And then with some of that over time, and I don't know how long it would be, but you want to have it so that people might see some things as we branch out to whether it's branding or signage and things that, on a small level, people automatically think. I know with me, I know all the city trucks and things just because I've been here that long, but, I know what the city has and different things, but, as you know, and I'm not comparing us to the big, but you all know what color Target is and you all know, the whiteness, that type of thing. On a small level, we'd like to kind of have that show up in the years to come, that when people look at whether it's our trucks or things like that, that they associate. And this is just the beginning there of something to start with. So, but I appreciate staff really did a good job kind of making what what we were thinking into kind of this guide with that. So any questions on that? It's a little different and it's a little, it's nice to have a little time where we can do something a little different there. So
I like it.
The only other things we covered was, we had a busy meeting, but the only other thing we covered was the rates and charges for the airport, which we'll discuss.
There's a resolution, yep.
that's right. Charlie brought that
And
in.
the other thing was the transit, which.
Yes.
The transit.
Yes, we're meeting with them, I believe, next week. Or the week after.
There might be some stuff that savings will come out.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Any questions of Mr. King regarding the facilities committee? If not, the personnel committee report.
The personnel committee met on the 31st of July. Standing in for Jennifer, by the way. That was our first meeting. We had a number of things we wanted to discuss about the management handbook, but there's also a position that we'll be discussing later on that we want to bring to you so that we can put it out for advertisement. So we had our first meeting on the 31st. Then we had an actual working meeting on Monday to do a lot of fleshing out of what needed to be changed, how could we change it, and that will all be discussed in executive session this evening.
Okay. We've had the income and expense report, the bridge traffic report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. July overall, all crossings were down 17.6 over 2019. But if you look at the bottom of the traffic figures and comparisons, you see how we're gradually, even though it's down by less each time. And the 17.6 is on the overall total crossings, which is a little better than we anticipated. So that is some good news. Auto crossings, you can see we're roughly 18% down. Truck traffic down by 12% over 2019, but it's up over last year, I believe. No, it is, yes. Revenue was up. Overall revenue was down 67,000 over June of 19, but up 39,000 over 2022. It's encouraging. We've had some pretty terrific holiday traffic.
Yes.
With Canada Day, and then just recently with the recent Canadian holiday last Monday. That weekend was looked fairly the same, but it's all anecdotal what we see, so that's kind of what I'm telling you. Any questions on that? And just so you know, I think we figured budget-wise, our number was 20%.
Right, down 20%.
Down 20%. So everything we can stay on the lighter side of 20% will give some improvement with on the budget side.
Good. Anything else?
Just that, well, James can talk, but anyway, we're preparing for our special in lieu inspection at the end of the month that with Parsons.
It's not underwater this year, is it?
There will be the underwater this year.
It will be this year?
Yeah, and then they'll be looking over the work that we've done in the last 2 years. And then making note of anything that's gotten a little bit worse out there. But it's been, everything's on the Canadian side because that project really allowed us to catch up with the bridge overall. But because we haven't spent a lot of money in Canada, that's our focus right now. And that's where our troops are taking care of that.
You don't anticipate any surprises?
Huh? No,
You don't anticipate any
I know.
surprises?
Well, we prioritize what we've done this year have been the ones that were prioritized for us. So that still doesn't mean that there's things still ahead of us that could find out to be deteriorated more.
Okay, and we're still waiting to hear about the request for the grant.
Yes. Who did I ask that question of?
That
And
was
they
what,
didn't. couldn't give me
68 million?
Yes. And they couldn't give us I think I talked with Leanne on that, and she said she hadn't heard anything.
Maybe no news is good news.
Yeah.
Anything else in Bridge?
That's it.
Okay, airport activity report, Charlie?
Yes, sir. So this month we've been seeing a huge jump really on passenger employment. So we're at 865 for the month, last month of July.
Do you have a table or
Yes,
did I not get one or
I
something?
just got that. I just got that sent to me. So I didn't get that sent in the forward report. I apologize.
Normally comes in 8th or 9th, right?
Yeah, so it normally comes in at about 8th or 9th, so. But it just came in about last night, roughly last night. So, but yeah, we're looking at about 865 employments. And deplayments, we're at about 891. So we never had reached this amount of employments ever since Contour has been here. About 50% load factors, which is really good.
Reason in your mind?
I couldn't really see it of maybe holiday traveling. You know, of me seeing the Ogdensburg Seaway Festival. I don't know, does that bring anybody in here? But it could have been. But you know, I also did a little calculation on their completion. So their completion rate is about 89% on the completion rate on their flights, and their on-time performance about 64%. So, and again, I believe if they can improve those numbers, I believe we can definitely beat that number if those was to improve. So.
I don't think there's any airline in the country that does better than that.
So, but as right now, you know, we're still fighting that. And I have spoke with Matt. You know, he has plan of changing some stuff around. You know, maybe
To our benefit.
again, you know, he has brought up of adding another plane in this fleet because, you know, like I was saying, I don't know if the board has noticed this, but our plane, the plane here and the plane in Plattsburgh, there's only 2 planes serve this route. So Plattsburgh gets a plane, Ogdensburg gets a plane, and Altoona takes, so our plane go pick up the afternoon departures for Altoona, and Plattsburgh picks up the mornings. So if any one plane is down, it has created a frustrations in any kind of way. But like I said, if they can, I haven't heard any complaints from customer service. So I believe that if they can beat that on-time performance, I believe they can get way more passengers than they can. And then aside from that, also if you can see from the report, we've been over the last month, I have worked with Contour of getting a marketing budget. So they have a $25,000 marketing budget. I have connected them with Advanced Aviation, which is a digital marketing firm that does strictly digital marketing. Their plan is to start their marketing campaign, focusing about 8 months of marketing campaign from August to April. So they're gonna do a lot of your normal digital advertisement you're gonna see on Facebook, your YouTube ads and stuff like that. And you know, they got a really neat system going on that they can track passenger traffics of where they're going, where they belong to, and from there they can target. So it's called target marketing, where they're going to target it right to them if they're watching YouTube. The ad's going to pop up, and they have created like a 15-second video for the airport and a Contour saying that, hey, flying Contour, and that will show up on your YouTube ad. But they will send us that later. But that's about to start soon. But again, we never had that because we never looked for it. So I was looking for it, and I found the $25,000 was in the contract. But again, Contours on their side never mentioned it. I believe it's it's a negative, but you know, at least we got it back. So,
So that will pay for this
correct,
particular firm to do that,
correct. So,
which looked pretty interesting and should provide us with some fairly reliable information, I think.
correct. So again, you know, that's what I was talking to Matt about, is about this. If we can get this service back in and with the marketing going on, it will be great. If we continue doing this and we're doing marketing, then I mean, we're heading to stone there.
We're in Ottawa now, eh?
Monday,
Well, when did I think it
Oh,
started
14th.
the 10th?
14th. So actually, to build upon what Charlie was saying, so this is just an example of what the advertisement's going to be. It's very closely aligned with what they're putting out. It's very closely aligned with what Advanced Aviation is putting together for their campaign. So there's some continuity and messaging between the St.
And
Lawrence
this is
County grant.
ads, is this the part where the ads are actually on
Yep, so these
the
are digital
streets of Ottawa?
Yep, digital billboards. So we're contracting with 2 out-of-home marketing firms. And one in particular has 8 different locations where we'll bounce around. The other firm is more traditional, where they have the select boards you choose. So it's actually awesome timing to be able to jump on what the digital campaign's going to be to help support what the grant funding we
Will there be
secured.
any way to tell how effective that is?
Yes. So back to that. So what they have created is called a landing page. So they have created a whole landing page of, if somebody clicks into it, they will bring them right to a landing page. So if anybody clicks on anything, it produces a number of clicks of how many people are clicking into this or how many people are looking at it.
That's for the online ads, right?
Correct.
But
Not for the
Was-
billboards.
Were you talking about the billboards or the?
Talking about
Yeah.
billboards or the?
Yeah, so
or the
that
ads?
we
You
we
can't
are,
distinguish between,
well, we are supposed to get some metrics, will be reported back from the company.
shoot, was there a map in here with dots on where people you were talking about?
Yes, so there's
Didn't
a,
show any dots in Canada though.
right,
It's not Canadian data,
it's not Canadian Day, so there's a, if you flip to the second page,
but this shows you who's
It's a
using
heat map.
OGS in New
so
York
there's a
State.
heat map showing that anybody that travels through OGS, that it shows them
Where they're from
where they're
here?
from here. So they can target marketing that through that area.
Here.
Correct.
Canada doesn't have that capability.
So they're still working on that.
Yes,
I
it's
believe.
different. So Advanced Aviation is looking into securing Canadian specific data. We don't have
Maybe
that
the
yet.
drum major could, speak up for us. Just thinking. that's all.
Yeah, but yeah, so far that's what we got going on at the airport. I presume we'll be doing better continually. I hope this number will continue going up. Then
You're gonna take credit for that? You better, because you never know. It's good, Charlie. Good report.
that's all I got.
Thank you. Any questions, Charlie? No? Board activity report. Mr. Lawrence, James, you're doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
Pull me back in.
For the inventory, both ag products, there is not much in storage, but I've reached out to these company and there's a little bit of a supply issue and it looks like mid-August to into the end of August, we should see some more rail cars inbound to get inventory back into storage.
So
And
we took out 234 pounds during the month of July?
tons.
What am I looking at? Oh, I'm over here. So the tons was actually, what, 117?
117, yep. Which is the 6-8 trucks.
Okay.
And nothing inbound.
And why is that?
I reached out and I guess there was something at their facility that was keeping production from
Okay.
being able to receive anything.
In the summertime, they have moisture issues with corn.
I can see that this
The
year.
heat. And so what happens is if you don't control the moisture, it bakes in the cars. And then basically you return it. It's in just one big, you know this.
Can't already get it out.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be
So,
good.
probably some of that spoils some of the loads and they're slower going. Some plants are better than others, but we've seen a reduction in that kind of problem, but I imagine that slows the shipping of it.
Makes sense.
And for salt, you can see that we have 114,000 ton plus. And as I was off for the month of July, we received 3 separate ships. And since then, today, we got another 12,000 tons delivered with word that we're to receive another 12,000 next week after the transformer project is
So
finished.
that'll be 5 salt ships?
Correct,
We didn't plan on 5 this year.
No, but
but they are half.
and we do plan on, we do base it on the tonnage. So two of these ships would be considered one. So basically we're at 4.
Okay,
And then I believe we're gonna get either 1 or 2 more. And that salt is for the local St. Lawrence County salt and some of Franklin County that are on that contract. It's roughly 65,000.
tons.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, talk to me about the ships from Europe. Is that
Oh,
definite?
Yeah, yep. They're currently in Montreal, expected for tomorrow late in the day, possibly 10 o'clock. And
What are they and where are they coming from and where are they going to?
it is 7 transformers with 140 pieces, crates that have come from Spain. And to confirm their destination.
Yeah, they're part of the Smart Path.
Smart Path.
Oh,
Yes.
Up near Shazy, there's a switch yard that is going in, and I don't think that'll be online. I think the project's all supposed to be online in 3 years. So they're doing the concrete work right now. So they're trying to beat the weather. These, from what I'm told, they're coming in early, so they're not ready for them. So they may stay with us for a while, but also they could end up being here. Some could be here for the winter, just because they're not ready for them. We do get storage with that. But like anything, we want throughput to get them out of here,
Right,
because then we get paid and all that. So,
absolutely.
but it's unique. You'll see they're extremely heavy. I don't think we've been handled and they sell that heavy. They're, what are they, 135?
Yeah, or 4, yeah.
Yeah, and they're point loaded. Probably they don't take up much more than a footprint like this. So we've got to have plates and all kinds of things so you don't punch through the ground. And they've got a specialty contractor in here that will be moving those. But the 140 crates are all parts and pieces associated with putting them together. So our building 8 warehouse will be storing, they have to stay out of the weather. So they'll be keeping them there.
Okay, and when this happens, we will have press here. Has that been arranged?
We have to get that approved through,
Security?
no, through the customer. We don't, but they are very, well, tell them they're doing
Yeah,
They're
I've been in
doing-
contact.
a lot of that
Yeah,
on
they're
their own.
doing 4 different drones. They're contracting out to a local person that's gonna be there, and
Okay,
they've said that they've been, or are definitely willing to share a lot of that with us.
Nice.
good. We need the public to know what's going on down at the port and how efficient and safe our longshoremen are.
Yes, and I believe they're eventually the final customer is the Power Authority. So they have some interest. They, as a sister authority, whatever, they want to come and take a look, they're welcome to that, just as long as they follow the normal rules of safety and
Right,
things for the customer.
excellent. What else?
We are 2 lights away from finishing a lighting upgrade to building 6. We're in the longshoreman stage. They're in a unique location where they can't be accessed with a lift, but I think I brought it up a couple months ago. I just wanted to give an update. That is it's through a national grid where we pay for all the upgrades upfront and then submit everything and get reimbursed. So, yes, and we also started in building 14, second lighting upgrade program with a tenant to improve some outdated lighting. It's going to be a little bit trickier moving forward with working with them, their schedule, and what they have for workstations. But I think in a long weekend or something, we might be able to work with them and get that taken care of.
Anything else?
No.
No? Anyone have any questions of James? No? Let's move on to the economic development report, including the building occupancy report.
Yeah, so starting with building occupancy, we're holding steady, thankfully, on our occupancy. We're holding at 90%. We still have vacancy in building 1 and 4. We're working with a short-term rental company. I think I mentioned that last month. We're working on building out the listing for this space for both of those buildings, in addition to buildings and property at the port, from anything from equipment storage, container storage, all different kind of, just try to leverage what we have for real estate assets. We've been working on lease renewals, which thankfully I am pleased to report, aside from one tenant from their portion of building that they have with us. Aside from that, of not renewing, everybody continues to renew with us. So I appreciate the faith they put in us to continue to be a tenant and a customer of ours. We started preliminary discussions with one newer tenant about their expansion plans in the Commerce Park, and that also has a potential foreign trade zone component, which I would love to see, to be able to have a second company utilize the FTZ. In that kind of light, I started discussions with the local Chamber of Commerce, St. Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce, about getting better visibility on the FTZ, as well as the airport terminal expansion project.
We have the only FTZ in the county, isn't that right?
Yep. Yep.
And we have authorization to
It's countywide.
expand that anywhere in the county.
It's a 60 or 90
The
mile
Chamber of
radius.
Commerce hasn't promoted that at all?
I think that just the knowledge of how you can utilize it, I don't think is there. So that's where we'll present to them, and that's a nice group. You know, the business community, the leadership in the business community is well represented there. So that'll be a perfect forum to discuss FTZ, build awareness for that. And then also, we're pretty excited once certain renderings and video walkthroughs of the airport project are able to go public. We want to use that forum as well to get the word out on what we're doing and the benefits of the county, essentially, and particularly Ogdensburg, but the benefits of the county. So,
Sure. And the FTZ can be used anywhere in the county.
yep, yeah. So it's
Is
there
that-
too.
is that meeting prior to our next board meeting?
No, it's actually their October meeting.
October.
Yeah. So I get one more board meeting before. Every 2 months, meetings of ours.
Well, that embassy trip will get in the way.
Well, speaking of that, I have reached out
That was
to the-
next, yeah.
to the U.S. Commercial Service, which is housed in the embassy. So I'm waiting to hear back to set up a time. I've stressed that I really want to be on site. So if they can
Good.
accommodate that, that would be,
That would be good.
you know, I get, yeah. So please.
It's only been a year.
Site, yeah, 18 months.
Well, I'm trying to be nice.
I want to express to the board tonight.
So in that October meeting, after whatever that meeting is with the
Yes,
chamber, if you would come and report to us on
absolutely.
on how that went regarding the FTZ, whatever video you have on the
Yep.
airport.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And if there's anything, I think that's, so, I can't tell you much, but, the potential heavy industrial park project that we had discussed a number of, board meetings ago is progressing forward.
Good.
Right now, we're at the property evaluation stage from a third party, so,
Mhm.
that's actually next Tuesday scheduled, so. I'll be pleased to give an update, when we have more on that. And that concludes my report for tonight.
Charlie, you didn't tell me that all of our T hangars are still occupied. That's good.
That's good, yeah.
That's
We just got,
Actually have a waiting list now.
we had a waiting list.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Show off.
Yeah.
Coming in strong.
See, Anthony, he knows how to play it up.
I just,
Better give him lessons there. Good. Mr. Lawrence, any unfinished business?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Good, throw this pen here in about a second. Under business items, nothing under general administration, under the bridge. Agenda item B1.
Yeah, so that's the approval of lease supplement number 3 with Cortec LLC. Staff has negotiated lease supplement number 3 with Cortec LLC for 140 square feet of office space in Suite 201 of the Bridge Administration Building for a 1-year period commencing October 1st, 2023 and terminating September 30th, 2024 at a rate of $23.58 per square foot, equaling $275.10 per month, or $3,301.20 for the 1-year period, inclusive of utilities. All other terms and conditions of the original lease agreement shall remain in full force and effect and are hereby ratified and affirmed. They've been a long-term tenant of ours. The work they do in workforce development, it's nice to have them on site. They don't always utilize the office. It's very appointment specific, but they've been very good tenants, and this does reflect that. Actually, it's close to 25% increase in rent rate to try to normalize across the entire building. So that's what we're working towards. So.
Good. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I'm seconded. Any discussion? Not, Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli,
Yes.
Mr. Burns,
Yes,
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy.
Yes.
thank you. Agenda item C1.
Okay, approval of lease supplement number 2 with KDM Analytics Incorporated. Staff has negotiated lease supplement number 2 with KDM Analytics Incorporated for 211 square feet of office space in Building 1 of the Commerce Park campus for a 1-year period commencing September 1st, 2023 and terminating August 31st, 2024 at a rate of $15 per square foot, equaling $263.75 per month, or $3,165 for the 1-year period, inclusive of utilities. Yet again, KDM Analytics has been a long-term tenant of ours. They've actually we've bounced them around from a couple of different offices, and we have them, I think, right-sized, and right now they come over every so often to conduct business, but they're looking to increase their on-site presence on a more permanent basis. So.
Good. Motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Terminelli,
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes,
Ms. Whitten.
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
thank you. Agenda item D1. Charlie?
Yes, it's the approval of airport rates and changes effective of August 14th of 2023. So in order for the airport to operate in a self-sustaining as possible position, it is necessary to evaluate and update airport rates and charges, creating reasonable fees for new service and adjust current fee. The attached proposal rate and changes effective Monday of August 14th of 2023 detail the proposal level. These reflect the current service costs that the airport incurs for the performance use of OBPA resource. The facility committee met on Monday, July 31st of 2023 and reviewed the proposal rate and changes.
Mr. King, you want to speak to this?
So, yep, so really, as you can see in that chart, what we have done is before in the airport, what we have done is we have created the charges based on aircraft models. So some aircraft are bigger than others, and some of them are paying more money on weight classes than some of the less weight classes aircrafts. So, we have getting complaints from pilots that, for industry standards, a lot of airports, everything's based on landing weights. So, it's not based on your aircraft manufacturer or what have you. So, as you can see here, you are single engine pistons, that's, you're single engine pistons. And then if you're a very light jet, that's up to 10,000 pounds of landing max takeoff weights. So if you're over 10,000 pounds, that's when you start stretching into the light jet class. So that's when you start paying more and more based on weight classes. So I believe that's more in line with the industry standards of a lot of airports, and that's what the language a lot of pilots speak. So I think I would like to propose a change for that, just for convenience for pilots to look at stuff. So. And really nothing really changed on the ramp fee. A lot of airports, they have changing something. We charge really heavy on ramp fees right now, but we do not have something called handling fee. So a lot of airport, now the wording is called handling fee. So, any airplane that comes in, our guys have to handle the airplanes. It's a handling fee. So, and then again, the industry standards have on here that if you buy a certain amount of fuel, that you can waive that handling fee. And as you can see over on the left, the handling fee, if you buy 150 gallons of jet fuel, I mean, you're making almost double of the amount of the handling fee, which is what we want them to do, is to buy jet fuel, which is we've been doing pretty good so far in the GA side. And also at the same time with the fuel discounts, that's the same thing that's also pretty in the industry standards of, a lot of pilot likes, they don't like the rewards program anymore. That was back in the days where a lot of people still buying. So now they want it on site. If I buy 400 gallons, I get 20 cents per gallon on my jet fuel. I don't presume anybody's gonna buy 10,000 gallons, but if they do, I will pump everything I got. That's again, that's the idea. I mean, if they buy, I will pump everything I got. Yeah, the tank only holds about 8,000, and then all the rest of the truck. So yeah, if you want it all, I'll give you all. But yes, so that's the idea, to get every airport, their revenue coming from jet fuel flowing through the tank. So, and we want to keep up with that. So.
Is this comparable to what other airports in the area are doing?
Yes. So other airports, I believe Watertown over there. Watertown charging, they gave a discount on their fuel too, and a lot of bigger airports, they gave discounts. So again, like what I was mentioning with a lot of these aircrafts, if they got enough fuel to fly for 2 hours to go to another airport to fuel up, and they know they can get a discount at another airport, they will do that happily.
Are the fees though, the handling and the ramp and the
Yes.
landing fees, those are comparable?
Yep. So I look up Plattsburgh, Watertown, and I also look up I asked Messina, but that's not really a comparison there. But really, our comparison is really Watertown, Plattsburgh. So.
Mhm. Okay. So we're just moving in line with local
Correct.
competition?
Yep.
Mr. King, this came out of committee.
Yep. And just as an aside, I had happened to talk to a friend who was a pilot. Right before that, we talked about fuel in that day. And so some of this stuff lines up with some of the things he had said. So that and so it was interesting to get that perspective from somebody while we were visiting.
Mhm.
And I'd heard from a couple other friends who have flown planes up here. That this makes sense. So aside from that, I think this is a good plan.
Excellent. There's that resolution. Come back here. Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any further discussion? Not Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item D2. Hey, Charlie, I guess it's back to you.
Yep, so it's approval for a contract with Gatekeeper Systems. So in an effort to increase airside and landside efficiency, providing documentation that is most useful to the Federal Aviation Administration and continue improving operation safety, the staff is seeking to enter into a contract with Gatekeeper System for their App 139 cloud-based software. App 139 is used by airport to do more than Part 139, self-inspection management. It is integrated mobile app, also website, that documents and validates work orders for all airside and landside inspections and maintenance. NOTAMs can be easily added to inspection reports and can be stored as a part of permanent airfield records. App 139 is a cloud-based software app that's built for tablet device, computers also, which give usable access to assess details in the office and on the airfields. So the staff review the other product, which is we have review VOC, which is almost triple the price. And App 139 product was the lowest bid, and their annual subscription is $4,500, and one time of setup and installation is $2,000. So total cost for the first year will be $6,500, and the total cost after the first year will be $4,500. So the main reason why I brought in this program really is, again, what we have done here, we have stack of mountains of paper right now, what we have right now. And again, if we see stuff with a lot of the FAA's records, if you put two papers together with ink, it starts smush. And when they do that, you can really barely readable of anything right now. And a lot of times when I ask for documentations, I can't find it. It's making a really inefficient in some ways. And also what this program does is it documents all that stuff and it saves on a cloud base. So they have 10 different backup servers, so you will never go out regardless. And any of the reports that you put in, it has specific of anybody that puts it in, at what time, lifetime tracking. And also if, let's say our FAA inspector wants to pull out one report instead of digging through a box of paper, he can just go right in and click at one thing of Scott looking at this day, and he can pull right up, right on his computer, and he can see all that. And again, also at the same time, we've been, and our last inspection, the FAA inspector brought up that we have not been doing any maintenance records. So what we've been doing is we've been swapping bulbs, and we have not been putting that in documentation. So FAA wants to know that, when we swap a bulb, when this broken, that got put in a report, and who fixed it, and what did they fix it with, and what time was it fixed. Because in the incident of accident or anything, they want to know, was that bulb out? Was anything out? There's a tractable resource, which we do not have right now. So that's why I want to propose this program for that. So.
Were any of our NOTAMs ever recorded?
Yes. So that's something that I was also going to bring up. NOTAM's always been stored on the clouds. Those always been on there. If you want to look, I have shown Scott that where it is, you can find it. So if you ever issue one, it's on there. I think that's back to that whole winter situation of what NOTAM was issued or what, which was in there. But I believe, guys just didn't have the tools to prove that point. So,
Okay.
but it
So
was
this is just
there.
gonna consolidate everything.
Yeah.
make it
Correct.
More efficient. Are we locked in for like multiple years, or is it just 12 months, 12 months, 12 months?
I believe with them is
It's like a 3-year contract, all right?
3-year contract. So
This year, then, set up and then 3 years starting this year or starting August of 24?
So it's whenever we enter into a contract with them. So if
That starts the clock.
correct,
Okay.
And it's 12 just calendar months out.
correct. And then with
15.5 over the life of the contract. Right.
yeah, and then with that, another thing I found benefit with this is there's no user limits. So other one that had a user limit.
Oh,
So they charge based on users
oh,
per users. And this one, there's no user limit as long as, and this program, you can integrate it in any way you want it to be. Like I can have airlines start documenting stuff. But, again, I want to strictly keep this as this right now until they start integrating more. And they're working on lease management on the app right now. So they will also, soon enough, they will be adding lease management into.
So you can use that for the T hangers?
Correct.
So here it says, must be, maybe it's first page. Means operations and airport staff get immediate status updates.
Yes,
So everyone on staff gets to see what someone else might have done as far as
correct.
fixing something?
Correct. So if there's there's a work order that's been put in,
Yes.
every single person has that under to-do list. So that's what they have to do. And all their monthly, what they have to do is all showing up there until they fix it or they do it. Or they will tell them, hey, you coming up on your renewal, you have to do this. So we will never miss out on anything because every time they log into that system, it's right there for them. And whenever, so for Scott as a supervisor, if some guys fix a light, Scott will get it. And that shows that the light's been fixed. And then Scott will know. So if tomorrow Scott will get a report again, 2 lights still has not been fixed, then now he'll be like, hey, he can go to the guys, hey, what's going on? My light still has not been fixed. I've been seeing, it's been dragging for 2 days and they show you the dates of when it's elapsed. So, and then the daily report that you put in of what's happening on the applications, let's say 3 light, it's out. But on that day's report, it shows 3 lights out. But if that light was fixed down the road, if the FAA inspector pulls out the report of maybe 2 weeks after that, those lights were fixed, it automatically cancel those lights out of that report. So it would never stick on the report. So it follows real time. So whenever it goes, it does it, it's gone from there on.
So who enters the work order? You?
Any guys.
Anybody can.
Correct. So they will go in there, they'll look, once they see a broken light, they enter a work order. And then they can go in, if they fix it, they can go in, take a picture of the light, shows that where it is, fixed. So now when the FAA inspector pulls up to show, now I can clearly show them which light it is at what location. You can pinpoint the location of the light.
Yeah, see, it says here at the bottom, second page, detailed corrective information on what the issue is, when it was fixed, who did the work,
Correct.
corrective action taken.
Yep. So it has all that on there.
That's pretty good information. And on the next page, what I find interesting, and Patty will too, records of the man hours and cost of each work order.
So that's, so in that, again, we're trying to get back in because the guys has to put in how long they're spending that.
Yep.
I'm sure they're gonna approximate it, how long it's gonna get fixed. So, and then it will get to Scott and Scott has to approve that man hour. Then it comes to me, then I'll look at all the work order of how many man hours been spending on these work orders.
How many airport supervisors does it take to change the law?
So it does have a lot of stuff. And also, at the same time, we've been getting a lot of situations of people finish half a report and somebody else finish another half. And now we're like, who does what?
Right.
But on that, it shows exactly who go in there, change what column at what time. So now we know if somebody just go in there, change something, then now I'm not gonna blame on somebody that they didn't do their part. Instead, I can
Right.
see right there who did what.
So this shows the FAA that we're taking care of the day-to-day operations at the airport.
Right.
It's all right there. You have a handle on it. Everybody knows what's going on. Even Mr. Lawrence can access that.
Yep, Steve can access it, he can have it arrested. If he wants to look at it, he can go right on there and click on see what, what the guy's been doing and what work order we have that's outstanding and what's been conducted today, because the guys does a lot of reports each day. And as soon as those reports sent in, all the management will get a notification shows that, hey, this report has been submitted at this time.
James, don't some of your guys go out to the airport too every now and then?
Yeah, on occasions, they've
Can't see.
done a couple repairs.
Yep.
So you might have interest in that too. Then.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. I think it's a good program. And the cost
Seems reasonable.
seems very reasonable.
I'm thinking the chairman of the board could be added to
Oh, yeah.
People will be leaving. There will be a mass exodus.
Maybe not, Mr. King.
Have some quality control on it.
Maybe not.
Trying to look out for these guys.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Been made, or second?
Second.
Made and second. Any further discussion? That Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Witten,
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli,
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes. Okay, I don't see anything else on the agenda. But I understand there's a need for executive session, is that correct?
There will be, but could I, under other such matters, could I talk about the pay-
Absolutely.
Paysetter Award? With help of board member Terminelli.
What'd you do now?
Wait, what?
We were, it was hand delivered by the Seaway Administrator, Adam Tindall-Schlitt. And he came, visited. Nicole represented the board. And I kidded her, but I said, I can say all of these things, but really, if she speaks, I think you'll listen and she can give a different viewpoint on our meeting that a lot of times we do it in such a way that, you know, it might just sound, you know, not special, but we really appreciated having him. He was here in the board and it was really informal. And I'll let you kind of give your take on that.
Yeah.
But we were awarded our 12th Pacesetter Award. And last year we had 100% more than what we didn't do anything in 21 with COVID, nothing overseas. We did plenty of salt, but that doesn't count toward this. So we had 9 vessels from overseas, which was 100%. And we're in a kind of a special situation where it goes like that a lot, that like, you know, next year, if next year's busy with overseas stuff, we'll top this year easily. But that's kind of the summary of where we are. So would you speak to a
Yes,
little bit
I
of
was
that?
very proud to be here as a board member and to see Steve and the rest of the team presented with the Pacesetter Award for increasing tonnage. This is the 13th time that
Number 12.
Number 12th time that we've received this award. So pretty big deal, and to have them here in person. So Adam was joined by his PR person, Latoya, and the economic development side of things.
Rebecca Yackley.
And so the team came from Washington, DC. Pretty big deal. And not just to present the award, but then they spent an hour, I mean, we toured the port, but they also spent an hour here with us in the boardroom, just talking about ways that they would like to partner and help and assist Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority in just making connections and boosting things with the port, collaborations with the other ports in the, you know, the Great Lakes and area. Just some hopeful things coming up in the future that they really want to advocate and lobby kind of on behalf of us for. So it was just really an honor. And so appreciate the work, Steve, that you do.
Well,
And everybody, the team, and just to see everybody there, you know, Karen and Jennifer were there too. And it just, I'm delighted at the team that we have. I just think it's a cohesive group of people that are working really hard together, and it's just kind of a dynamic, bigger than duo, right? It's a dynamic team. So thank you all.
Good. Did we get a picture?
Thanks, Nicole.
Lots
Yes.
of pictures.
We
I
did,
would
we got lots
imagine
of
that there
pictures.
will be a lot of
Oh,
stuff
again,
posted.
they had the camera.
One thing that came out of the administrator's speech or things that he talked about, that he met with OMLC, which was
Oh,
Adam
good,
Johnson.
good.
They have a relationship, and he really kind of surprised us in telling us how good it is that we have QSL here in OMLC. He really.
Was Adam here?
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
yes.
and
He
things
was?
are happening
And
in
you
the.
can tell they knew each other right away. It was the hug and yeah. So
Yeah, that's rare for Adam. So.
Yeah.
But
Adam hug somebody? I
he
want a
was
picture
saying
of that.
how QSL's growth and how they're becoming probably the premier stevedoring group in the Great Lakes, but also in other parts of the country. So
Excellent.
just to hear it from him was
Yeah.
pretty good. I'd like to just take some time to acknowledge the OBPA staff, the CSE employees, and the ILA Local 217 for all the terrific work they've done on behalf of the port. And then I'd like to acknowledge the board of directors for their steady vision, their support, and providing direction that allowed the port to grow. You guys have been great to me, and I know you look at that, and Sam has a special place with that. You've all visited down there, and I know you appreciate what we do, but that has a lot to do with it. So I just want to take the time to thank you for that. So with that, we can go into executive session.
For?
It would be for 105 E and F, I believe. Oh, excuse me, wrong one. Yeah, 105 1F and 105 E. Do I need to read? Can we read those for you? E is for
Yes.
collective negotiations pursuant to Article 14 of the Civil Service Law, and F is the medical, financial, credit, and employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
Do you expect the action to be taken afterwards?
Yes, we do.
Okay, noted. Is there a motion to go in executive session?
So moved. Second.
Made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We're in executive session. When you're ready. We gotta hurry. Ready? Okay, we're back in public session. Any business to be conducted, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Would you bring that forward, please?
Agenda item D, Ogdensburg International Airport, approval of part-time airport operations position. The airport manager has reviewed staffing levels at the airport with respect to the airport operations personnel. Currently, there is one operations specialist supervisor and 3 specialists. With the existing schedule, there are 5 days with double coverage and 2 days with single coverage. Should the employee on single coverage take time off presently, other operational specialist covers the hours. As safety of passengers and employees is integral of everything that happens at the airport manager feels it is unsafe for employees to cover their own 3 12-hour shifts and then take on another 1 or 2 for a single employee when he is out. In addition, a part-time operations specialist could be a backup resource for other employees' time off and would give a possible boost to succession planning at the airport. Finally, this employee would also help reduce overtime comp time for the authority. The part-time operations specialist would carry out the same duties as the full-time employees except on a part-time basis. Part-time specialist would be scheduled so that there would be dual coverage every day. This employee would be a member of the CSEA with an initial hourly wage that would follow the CSEA wage scale for fiscal year 23-24 grade 12 and receive prorated vacation sick personal time off. As all part-time employees, this part-time operations specialist would have the ability to contribute to the New York State and local retirement system.
Okay, and if we approve this resolution, that opening will be posted and
Tomorrow internally and Monday or Tuesday externally.
okay,
So moved. Second.
made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes,
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
thank you. Next.
General Administration, Department of Labor and Division of Human Resource updates to Management Personnel Handbook. A few updates to the Management Personnel Handbook and CSEA addendum have been recommended by the authority's human resource consultant in order to remain current with New York State laws and policies. List of protected custodies and any discrimination statement, citizenship or immigration status must be added to the list of protected categories. Right of nursing mothers to express breast milk. For its employees' use, the authority must provide a private room where nursing mothers can express and keep cool breast milk during the workday. The authority statement does not specifically address what must be in the private space. Sexual harassment policy, New York State has added additional wording to its sexual harassment policy. Further, a complaint form must now be included in the handbook. Prevention training must either be the New York State model training or internal training that meets or exceeds the DOL and DHR model training. Whistleblower policy, New York State has significantly expanded its whistleblower policy to expand who is considered an employee, to broaden the scope of protected activity, to ease the employer notification clause, to expand the types of actions considered retaliatory, and to expand the employee remedies and entitlement to a jury trial.
Basically modifying what the state has requested all other agencies and commissions to do.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Romanelli.
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes,
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
thank you. Next.
Update of the personnel handbook, health insurance opt-out policy. Personnel Committee of the Board of Directors has recommended a change to section 3.03 of the current management personnel handbook regarding the insurance opt-out policy. Currently, the section in question reads, the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority employees electing not to receive authority-provided health insurance will be eligible for a $10,500 family, $7,000 two-person, $3,500 individual, annual, will be eligible for annually in lieu of receiving the health coverage benefit. The recommended change to the policy is the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority employees electing not to receive authority-provided health insurance will be eligible for $5,000 annually in lieu of receiving health coverage benefit. This taxable buyout provision coincides with the plan year and will be paid in semi-annual installments to the individual in September and March.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any discussion?
Can I just ask one question? Does this impact anybody right now? Like, was there anybody? Okay,
No, we'll start with the September plan year.
okay, perfect. Okay. Thank you. Yep.
No other discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Romanelli.
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes,
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
The Personnel Committee of the Board of Directors recommends a change to the amount of continuous employment a new employee must complete before taking vacation or personal time. Section 3.09 vacation leave presently states new employees must use vacation allowances, may use vacation allowances after 4 months of continuous employment. And section 3.10 personal day policy states personal leave is not permitted during the initial 4 months of employment. The Personnel Committee feels that the 4-month period should be reduced to 3 months, thus changing section 309. New employees may use vacation allowances after 3 months of continuous employment. And section 3.10 to new employees may use personal leave after 3 months of continuous employment, unless emergency circumstances exist requiring advance approval of the employee's supervisor or executive director.
basically reduces it from 4 months to 3.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Burns,
Yes,
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Romanelli,
Yes.
Okay, next.
In reviewing section 3.09 vacation leave from the management personnel handbook, what appeared to be an unfinished statement was found and brought to the Personnel Committee for clarification. The statement under other considerations, unused vacation may be accumulated from 1 year to the next in accordance with policy. Policy is not defined or specified. Further review after the meeting shows that the statement should refer to a statement made earlier in the section regarding the capping of vacation allowance. Vacation allowances earned will not be capped by the OBPA. The Personnel Committee, however, has recommended that the statement be replaced with employees may carry over 280 vacation hours to the next year on the anniversary before The second statement was found. The board of directors agrees that there should be a carryover statement and that the carryover should be 280 vacation hours, and the unfinished statement should be taken out.
Okay, so that caps it, the carryover,
Mhm,
at 280.
mhm.
So moved.
Made
Second.
and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli,
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes. Next,
In review of the management personnel handbook, it was noted by the personnel committee that vacation, also personal and sick, leave policy is listed in biweekly accrual amounts. Ensuing discussion formulated a front-load prorated option to biweekly accruals. Under the option, a management employee's vacation, personal, and sick leave would be front-loaded on the employee's anniversary. 104 hours of sick time, 32 hours of personal time, and whatever level of vacation time would be added as an annual accrual during the payroll, including the employee's anniversary date. To counter an employee gaining the annual accrual in one payroll and resigning or retiring in the next, this annual accrual would be prorated from the anniversary date to the date the employee retires or resigns. For example, an employee receiving 120 hours of vacation time on his or her anniversary, but leaves 6 months later, half of that vacation time, 60 hours, would be deducted from the ending hours before vacation time is paid to the employee.
is there a motion
So moved.
Second.
and seconded. Is there any discussion? Not, Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli,
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes.
Ms. Whitten.
Yes.
Good, next.
The Personnel Committee looked at the vacation accrual chart from the Management Personnel Handbook. The attached charts show the current vacation accrual chart that is in the Management Handbook and the Personnel Committee's updated vacation accrual chart. It has been adjusted to end at the 15 years plus with the vacation hours at 224 hours.
Go through that, would you please? With the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 particular
Higher
years of
date.
service.
Okay, higher date to 3 years would be 120 hours or 3 weeks. 4 to 5 years would be 144 hours, 3 weeks and 3 days. 6 to 9 years would be 160 hours, 4 weeks. 10 to 14 years would be 200 hours, 5 weeks. 15 years plus would be 224 hours and 5 weeks and 3 days.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. King,
No.
Okay, keep going.
Capital O.
Yeah.
You okay? No one's voted no in a while. What? How do I spell that?
Wait a minute, did you get Mr.
Yeah.
Allen? Okay. Yes.
Ms. Whitten.
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. King, that was good.
Not right now.
Really made you.
Ah. Next.
In reviewing section 3.04, health insurance for retirees in the management personnel handbook, possible error was found and brought to the personnel committee for clarification. The second paragraph in section 3.04 discusses the 75-25 split between employer and employee who retires under 65 plan with over 20 years with the authority. However, subsequently, when referencing the Medicare supplemental plan available for retirees over 65, the wording changes to the retiree will be responsible for the full amount of the plan. This is the same wording as the employee retiring with less than 20 years of experience, being responsible for the entire cost of the Medicare supplemental premium. The Personnel Committee agreed that the 75-25 split should carry over to the Medicare supplemental plan premium for retirees with 20 years plus of employment with the authority. This would change the third paragraph in section 3.04 as follows. Upon reaching Medicare eligibility, a retiree may choose to obtain coverage under the authority's Medicare supplemental insurance program. Premium costs associated with this plan would be split between the authority and the retiree, with the authority responsible for 75% of the premium cost and the retiree responsible for the remaining 25% of the premium cost.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? So, 50/50, right?
No, that's.
No, that's the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. No discussion, Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Minelli?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Next, please.
Yes.
In reviewing section 3.04, health insurance for retirees in the management personnel handbook, possible error was found and brought to the personnel committee for clarification. The second paragraph in section 3.04 discusses the 75-25 split between employer and employee for the retiree under 65 plan for employees with 20 plus years with the authority. However, subsequently, when referencing the Medicare supplemental plan available for retirees over 65, the wording changes to the retiree will be responsible for the full amount of the plan. Personnel Committee agreed that the 75-25 split should carry over to the Medicare supplemental premium for retirees with 20 plus years of employment with the authority. Further, the committee felt that the authority should add an additional category for employees with 10 plus years employment with the authority with a 50/50 split on both retiree medical plans.
Thank you. Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Minelli?
Yes.
Next.
In the past, the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority has had a medical supplemental plan with the Hartford. This plan was offered to management personnel only, and the management personnel handbook has made provision for the retiree supplemental insurance. Recently, a retired employee of the authority who is now reaching 65 requested information on the Hartford plan. In an attempt to obtain the plan document for this employee's comparison to other marketplace plans, it was discovered that the current Hartford plan is closed for new retirees. There are OBPA retirees on this plan. However, no new retirees can enroll. A representative of Hartford had indicated that there is a new plan that matches the old plan in benefits to the retiree. Staff recommends the authority open the new plan and offer it to management employees following the qualifications and guidelines as stated in the management personnel handbook.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Minelli?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes. Anything else?
Speed round.
Any other business to be conducted?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Any concluding comments from board members, authority staff? Anyone online?
Andy's not online.
Andy's not online. All right, next meeting date is proposed for September the 14th, Thursday at 5 PM. September the 14th.
I don't think it matters, but I won't be here.
September the 14th. Why does that sound familiar? Okay,
Why did
you
we-
do have that
Why did we go to 7?
down, right? On Thursday. Why couldn't it?
Oh, because I have a trial that day, that's why.
Oh, so you don't know.
Yeah, there's no way this one's outside.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, if I get out of there for some For no reason.
All right, the 14, will that work?
Mhm.
Tony?
Mhm.
All right.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
reach out to them if I know what works for her, just to make sure.
5, eh? I take it?
Yep. I might be a little late, but.
No, you?
And I'm always late.
Gee, I find that
I've
hard
got
to-
a trial that day too.
Find that hard to believe. Nothing else, then motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anyone opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you. That meeting was very long.
Yes.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks,
Okay,
everybody.
thank you.
That one was a wild ride.
No, I'm
Jen, thanks.
Warren's administration.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye. Talk to you soon.
No.